Okay, for some reason the audio cut out on part of this clip, and so I'm voicing over narrating it, and you'll hear me, and then at some point the G's reactivate the audio for some reason, and you'll hear the normal cockpit audio on this clip. Okay, we're clearing the area to the left here first, and we're turning to the left, and then after we do that and look all around, we'll make a right turn back and clear the area, and then we'll begin the first maneuver here. Okay, we're back on heading now, and we're going to start the first maneuver. Looking out the window for my first 90-degree visual reference point to the left there. Lazy 8 to the left. And we'll start this maneuver by rolling to 15 degrees bank as we get to the 45. Past the 45, we'll continue to roll 30 to the 90. As we make this turn towards the 90 with 30 degrees, we'll have reached our maximum pitch attitude actually at the 45-degree point. Then we'll let the nose drop through at the 90, and we'll continue to roll out for 15 degrees at the 135. And as this loop continues, we will roll back out level, back on altitude, and start the second loop here. So then we'll roll right and pitch up so that we are 15 degrees bank and maximum pitch at the 45. We'll hold that pitch. We'll continue on around to the 90 as we roll to 30 degrees bank, and we'll let the nose drop through the horizon at the 90-degree point. And past the 90-degree point, we want to relax the elevator and bring our altitude back down, and we're going to roll to 15 degrees at the 135, continuing to bleed off that altitude to get back to our reference altitude and speed. So now we roll out on heading, on altitude, on airspeed. Maneuver complete. And it looks like we're setting up for the next maneuver, so we're going to turn to the left to do a clearing turn to the left, and then we'll go back to the right and start the next maneuver. Okay, looks like we're setting up for a Chandelle this time. You'll see me slide the throttle full forward here for climbing 180. Will be minimum airspeed at the 90, continuing around to complete from 90 to 180 with a minimum airspeed and no loss of altitude. And I'm looking back to the right now to see that my reference mark is now on the other wing. And now we gently bring the nose back over, not losing any altitude and regaining airspeed. And now I'm going to do a clearing turn to the left and bring the altitude up to a nice round 5,500. So left clearing turn and then a right clearing turn. And next up is a steep turn at 5,500. And we do these steep turns in both directions, so now I'm rolling back to a 50-degree bank for a right-hand steep turn. You're required to do both of these, actually, both directions. And you lead the rollout at about 25 degrees on the compass heading. There we go, maneuver complete, yay. And at this point, I think I've handed the controls over to Jacob to let him fly just a little bit. And we're discussing the electric trim. You can see Jacob's thumb on the stick there, adjusting the trim and discussing how non-precise the electric trim is. So this is a Lazy 8. I'm going to do this first. I had some problems with the audio, so you'll hear it cutting in and out, but I wanted to overlay this voiceover so that you would know if you hear any scratchiness. But I think most of the audio is here for this Lazy 8 maneuver. I kind of roll 30 for the 90. Here comes the sun. We're just going to let that nose drop down through there. There's a 135 at 15 degrees. And the last part of this is just real slow. Because we're at a 15-degree bank, which is a standard rate turn, which is not a whole lot of turn rate. there's that, so we're going to roll, pitch, turn, go the other way. There's the sign over there now. Degrees at the 45. Maximum pitch, going to roll over to the 90. 30 degrees at the 90.
Calling first again. Skyline 6350 Bravo, Austin approach, thank you. Austin altimeter 3018.
Alright, maneuver complete. Alright, too bad you're not a DPE, dude. I think those would have passed. Okay.
Should we call Tristan right now and see if we can get you scheduled?
I'm on the 16th right now with Ken. Okay, so let's call these guys. Let's get the weather first. Let's do that too. Dead spot. Okay, so here we're going to go back to San Marcos, and what I'll do is I'll end up cutting the power and actually gliding all the way back to San Marcos because we're up pretty high right now. And we'll do that, and we'll set up on the left downwind for a short approach for a power off 180.
Temperature 29er, dew point 23, altimeter 3019er.
Oh, okay. And Austin approach, Cirrus 902, Echo Sierra's done with it. Air work, we'd like to head back to San Marcos.
Cirrus 2 Echo Sierra, roger. I just sat down here, just, I'm not sure if this is the same one you had verified. Do you have information golf?
Affirmative, we got golf.
Cirrus 2 Echo Sierra, roger. Expect runway 17, and I'm hanging up to the tower now.
Okay, over to tower for Cirrus 2 Echo Sierra, thank you.
Touch and go.
Clear touch and go, we have the traffic.
Alright, so steep descent.
Like an emergency descent?
Yeah, so an emergency descent, we would go, well, if we had a fire, what do we want to do? Throttle all the way back, simulate it? Okay. So let's get below flap speed. Let's put in first notch of flaps just so we can go down right through that hole. And the goal here is to get down as fast as we can. And the emergency descent, we might have the fuel off, throttle off, fuel selector off, ignition off if we're trying to put out a fire or anything like that. And San Marcos Tower, Cirrus 902 Echo Sierra is with you with golf inbound for landing.
Cirrus 902 Echo Sierra, San Marcos Tower, report entering left downwind, runway 17.
Left downwind for 17, we'd like to request a short approach if we can fit it in.
All right, I'll make that happen.
Thank you, sir. All right, select approach. This will help us a little bit. Vectors, load. Should be this way. There we go.
There's the runway.
Yep.
My ears are popping this morning.
Yeah, I got a lot of altitude I'm burning off. Look at this, my descent right here. Also trying to stay VFR here, so I'm kind of weaving my way around through this.
Cessna 154, extend upwind. I'll call you crosswind. You're going to follow a Cirrus that's inbound from the southeast.
I'm not sure I can do a power off from here, so we may have to set it up. We'll see.
Let me know if you see the Cirrus. He's about
I can try.
2.5 miles
Flaps back up.
southeast.
Let's see. It'll speed up our descent a little bit. I see him there. See that guy?
Yeah, there's that.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Echo Sierra, you're number 1. Short approach approved. Runway 17, clear to land.
Hey, short approach approved for 17, clear to land, Cirrus 2 Echo Sierra. All right, we'll see if I have to cheat or not. Still about 1,000 feet above pattern altitude, which is good.
Cessna 154, the Cirrus should be passing you now. Do you see him?
Negative, still looking.
All right, just for safety, we're going to do gas undercarriage mixture probe switches. We're going to leave the mixture about right here.
Left crosswind approved, 154.
Down 04 Echo Romeo, your traffic had to extend
No
up a
power.
little bit, so you do the same.
That's actually going to work out because I'm not quite to the 1,000-foot point, which is why I want to be 1,600 and 110 knots. So we're going to get there. We might do this without speeding up too much.
So normally what I would do is pull the power at the 1,000-foot marker, and I'm just about right where I want to be. Look at that. Okay. So I'm going to do it slightly less than 5. 1 America, 2 America, 3 America, 4 America. Well, yeah, 5. Okay. Just looking out the window. The Pescalode's 96 or 90. Actually, it depends on our weight. So we want to come in. We're high, so we're going to put in some flaps. Slow down. Want to travel too far. This one's a little tight. I normally get them better than this. But I'm also usually set up better than this too. Okay, so we're going to do a forward slip. There's our 80 knots, about where we want to be, still in descent, so we'll hold 90. Or 80, I should say.
4 down, 117, and for touch and go.
System 154, number 2, following the Cirrus. Jamali's over the numbers now. Runway 17, clear for touch and go.
Traffic inside.
Extra slip there.
154.
Get my speed down. Ground effect. How about that, dude?
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
You should go take your check ride in like the next 3 hours.
I know. You're exactly right. I had a terrible day yesterday, but that's because I blew my iPad off. So, all right. So,
Nice.
clean up the airplane. Got that.
Cirrus 2 Echo Sierra, right turn on runway 26, cross runway 13. You can exit at Delta or Bravo. Contact ground control when off the runway.
Okay, right on 26, cross 13, and we'll exit at Bravo and over to ground. Cirrus 2 Echo Sierra. Thanks for your help.
You nailed that one.
Huh?
You nailed that one right on the 1,000.